Hello there guys, it's CoolFox here, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing and review of the Artlii 480p home projector. So on the front we have a picture of the projector itself, and on the side we have nothing written, and also on the bottom and the top there is nothing written as well. On the other side there is the same picture of the projector, so there is really nothing outside of the box. Opening it up, you will find that everything is contained inside a piece of foam, and once that is removed, you will find the manual, which is actually very long, and I would recommend that you give this a read. A warranty policy, projector itself of course, a remote that goes with the projector, the power cable, an HDMI cable, and also the AV cables. Inside the manual you will find a lot of useful information, and this is written in a lot of different languages. Taking a look at the power cable, you can see that this is from the UK and it also has a standard connection. The AV cable is also standard, and as you can see it does split into the 3 other cables. The HDMI is also standard, and you can see that it is actually pretty long. The remote included is not of very high quality, but the buttons are actually tactile and they are nice to press. It is all made out of plastic, and as you can see the battery cover does not close correctly, which does give the impression that this is a pretty cheap remote. It does work at what it does, so that is what's important. Unfortunately there are no batteries included, but this does take 2 AAA batteries. And now taking a look at the projector itself, if we take it out of the wrapping, you can see that it actually has a very nice design with the buttons here on the bottom. They are very tactile and they are actually very satisfying to press. The focus wheel is also pretty stiff, so it will hold into place without any problems. The keystone wheel is also pretty good, and it does hold into place well enough. On the back here we have the infrared sensor. We have no connections at all except for a VGA port. On the side we will find all the other connections, which include 2 USB ports, an HDMI port, an AV port, and also a headphone port. This is obviously 3.5mm. On the bottom here we have 5 rubber feet, which will not leave a mark on the surface this projector is on. Apart from that, on the other side we have the power input, which takes in obviously the cable that is included. Here on the front we have the lens itself, and this actually looks of pretty good quality, and we'll have to actually look at that obviously in the video test. Apart from that, the 5th wheel here does actually retract to elevate the projector itself for a better angle if it is mounted at an angle to the projector screen. It does protrude quite a bit, and this is actually a very good feature to have. So this is as far as I managed to extend it, and this is actually a very good angle to work with. If you consider the size of the 480p projector, which is on the top, with the size of the 720p projector offered by Artlii, you can see that it is a lot smaller. It is about 3/4 of the size of the 720p projector, so you'll obviously get a lower quality image since it is 480p, but also a smaller form factor. Now this might be preferable to some if you have a small screen, but if you have a large screen such as I have, a 720p projector will obviously be a lot better. Considering the screen size, even a 720p projector is a bit of a stretch, since I will be testing this on a 120-inch screen, which is actually pretty big for both the 720p and the 480p projector. And if you want to see the review of the 720p projector, I will leave a card up on the top right.
Exact same favorite words out of my mouth. I used to sleep on a lamps wool beanbag next to an electric space heater. That's my territory. I'm an indoor dog. I starred in 22 consecutive bounty shop commercials. Look at me now. I couldn't land an audition. I was the lead mascot for an undefeated high school baseball team. I lost all my spirit. I'm depressing. I only ask for what I've always had: a balanced diet, regular grooming, and a general physical once a year.
As you can easily tell, this does not have the best quality picture, since this is 480p, But considering the size of the screen, which is 120 inches, as I said before, it is actually a pretty respectable image for the size of the image produced. If you go closer to the screen, you can obviously see the pixels a lot better. This is not a bad sign particularly, it just means that it is a low resolution projector, which this obviously is at 480p. The 720p projector did show a lot less pixels, but that is obviously to be expected, and if you want to see how the 720p projector performed, you can click the info card as I said before. This test is being conducted in a very dimly lit room with only just a window and barely any sunlight getting through. I will also include a test of the room in pitch black conditions, and it should yield a better result. Something else to keep in mind is obviously the projector's fans, and this does make a bit of sound as well. The 720p projector does produce a lot more sound from the fans since it has bigger fans and since it needs to be cooled a lot more than the 480p projector since it's producing a larger image. To show you what to expect with this projector, I have booted up File Explorer, and here you can see that the writing is barely visible and barely readable. This is obviously to be expected since the resolution of the projector is of 480p, and this does not mean that this is a bad projector, it just means that at this size it does not produce a very good image, given the resolution that it outputs. Keeping in mind how much this costs, which is around £60, this will obviously be a huge factor on the resolution and the quality of the projector, and given the £60 price point, this is pretty much acceptable and what you should expect with other projectors at this price range. I do have a link down below, and if you use it, I would highly appreciate it, as I am an Amazon affiliate. In a pitch black environment, the projector does work pretty well, and as you can see, the picture is pretty much viewable, but not the best quality out there, obviously, since this is 480p. You can still see the pixels from this view distance, and it might be unenjoyable for some people, but for most people it will be fine. So again, it does depend on the person and on the budget that you have to spend. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. This was CoolFox, and I'm out. Peace.